Okay, so something a bit different today. You've probably spotted the obvious changes already, but I'll run through a load because there've been quite a few. I can't do one of them, but I'll fill you in on that one in a minute. What I thought I'd do, because people were struggling to envisage how the final product sort of going to turn out. So what I've basically done is just got a few cans of cheap primer and chucked it on, basically. A few bits of rattle can black, and just to chuck a bit extra on, just to sort of test a few colours and see what kind of designs I want to go for. And I think it's come out quite nice. That's basically roughly how it's going to look when it's one colour. I actually quite like it in grey, to be honest. Grey with black wheels are quite nice, but I'm sticking with the blue. I think that's the plan, but who knows, it might change. I do quite like it in grey. Anyway, I'll run you through what I've been doing. So basically I can't do the rear section. If I was to go to the rear, I can't do the rear piece because I've got to take the spoiler out to do that, and obviously I can't really do that while holding the camera, but I'll put a picture up. So basically what I've done is I've made a whole new trim piece, mounted to the amps. It's going to be 4 in total, but mounted to the two of the 8 kilowatt amps, the base face ones. I'll put a picture up anyway, as I say. I basically made a trim panel around it, so it looks quite nice. Pretty basic at the moment, but there's going to be 2 more amps in there. There'll be a 1500 what's it called, 1500 D2 or something it's called, a base face again, and then a little mini one for the tweeter amp. But what I'm going to do as well, under this sort of section here, which you can't see obviously at the minute, the air ride tank will also go in there, and it'll be visible through the build. So you get a rough idea with that. Once the picture's online, you'll get an idea. Rear end, I think looks quite nice once it's all the right sort of colours. Obviously the light bar will be tinted, not as black as that obviously, but it'll be tinted pretty heavily, so it won't look a million miles from that. The spoiler will be that colour as well. It'll be black. Obviously I've just chucked a load of colour on it for now, just so you can see what it's going to look like. But yeah, that's basically what it's going to look like, roughly like that kind of idea. Diffuser like that. The exhaust are staying as twins, so they'll basically be like that as well. It's pretty good, to be fair, I reckon. I'll show the front. Sorry, camera turned off briefly there. This is the front end. So basically I've been working on the bumper a little bit, and also the bonnet vent, which I'll show in a second. Some of the lines on there which are way off still, but you get the idea in a minute. I quite like this black at the front. I was doing some testing with some colours and things. Quite like this black opening here. I'm going to do a bit of work on how to blend it into here, but it looks a little bit sort of like a Jag XF kind of front almost. So it looks quite smart, I think. So I might actually leave it black and have the black splitter at the bottom as well, and everything under there. So obviously the intercooler will be under there once it's well, in advance of the turbo conversion going in. Obviously that will happen as well at some point soon. Well, some point anyway. See what happens there. It's quite expensive, so we'll see how it goes. The front end, been working on some panel lines for the bonnet. You can see where the bonnet's going to cut out. I'll show you roughly where it's going to be, where it's going to be. So these lines here, obviously they need matching up still at the moment. They're not in line or anything, and all the lines all over the show, but you can see what I'm doing here. So these 2 lines, that one and that one, is where the bonnet are going to cut out, and then it's going to be cut out, where are we? About there. No, there, sorry, there. So it's basically going to go across there. So basically where the original scuttle panel was, cut along there, and then this whole section will come off down to here, basically. That's the idea. I did a bit of test colours and things again. I had an idea of like some sort of stripes down here in black, and then I tried it without that. I had that in grey, and then I had black all the way around there and there. And to be honest, this probably looks the best anyway, I think. Just the black sort of raised bump there, with obviously just the highlights on the bonnet, which should look quite nice, I think. Gives it a bit of styling lines without being too over the top. Well, super on 22s, and wide body doesn't exactly tame, but you know what I mean, not over the top, proper over the top. But yeah, you get the idea of that. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I think looks all right. Obviously none of this has been flatted back properly or anything yet. It's still just primed over it just to see what it's like. Absolutely no point to it at all, but you'll get an idea of roughly what's what. I've done a little bit of work this side. I've been doing some guide coating this side, right back up to here, because I've been doing some work on this. I'll show you, come around. Here we go. around this area, and also this area, trying to get it all blended into the boot properly. It's not quite there yet. Needs this line tidying up here along there, which I can't do until I've sorted out the light bar, but it won't be far away. And then this piece there, ignore that little chip in the boot there, there's going to be some fiberglass going behind there, and then redo that, so it should be fine. It's going to be strengthened up anyway because it's really thin at the minute, but again, this piece is nicely coming around quite nice. Shape of the light is coming along quite nice as well. Looks quite good from this angle, quite like that. But you can see obviously a big difference compared to the other side, so I can see why people were struggling to see where it was going, because when you've got sort of just this and filler and stuff like that, it just looks like, what on earth is that? But at least when you can see the other side and it looks basically one colour, one piece, roughly how it's going to be, I think it looks a lot more like a car, basically, like it will be when it's eventually show worthy. Ignore these pieces here, you'll notice that that looks very rigid. That won't look like that when it's done. That line won't be there, it's going to be quite smooth. I've got a plan of basically either taking that into a panel line sort of along there and then following it along into the wing, or it might just be smoothed out, I'm not sure yet, one of the two, but should look quite smart. I think it's probably smoothed out might be the best plan. And then obviously this one will be the same. I'm going to smooth this out rather than do a line. I think I'll give you a better idea. It does look nice and smart and sort of modernish, bit like a GTR. Looks a bit like a Nissan GTR kind of look to it almost, kind of. Well, when you have kitted up versions anyway, not standard ones obviously. But yeah, that's where it's been. So let me know what you think. As per, I think it looks like it's coming along pretty well. I think I needed to show one colour just so I can show you what roughly it's going to look like. But yeah, feel free to do that. I'll put the picture up of the audio bit. That took a little bit of time to put that together. I'll do that, put a picture up of that as well. So let me know what you think. Obviously subscribe if you want to see the updates. Obviously there's the Project Stormtrooper page. I'm giving it some beans there, nice. But yeah, feel free to subscribe, keep an eye on the updates, and yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll do another video as and when I can.